Hello my dear friends, here's Max again. Today with a short review of the Sofirn C8F. Usually they have these nice boxes, but the C8F came in this cardboard box, which already has been ripped, and it was ordered from Amazon and came in an Amazon plastic bag, and let's look inside if it survived. Now the flashlight. You see it's an C8 shaped flashlight. That means the diameter of the head. I have an Sofirn C8F, and if we try, they exactly link together. So you can see the Sofirn used this matte finish. Sofirn has a glossy finish. I did not see any production errors again, so I think Sofirn handles this quite well. Writing is nicely done. There's some cooling fins. And again, since there is no port or whatever to distract you, there's just one thing you can click, and that's the mode switch. On the back side we have a tail switch, which is just for on and off. 3 XPL LEDs. I don't see a blue coating up there, so maybe it's a glossy one. Opening the tail cap, we find an insulation tab, which is very nice. We see the cell they sent with this version, 21700 with 4000 milliamps. And what I wanted to show you is, you see this red wire? So to give it a better conductivity, they have a spring bypass, and so more amps can go over the spring to ensure the power. So click is quite nice. The tube is symmetrical, so you can use it in both ways, and there is no distracting fins or whatever. Here's the look in the driver, also with a bypass spring, which is quite nice. The driver has a retaining ring, so you can just unscrew it and take it off if you need to or want to. The rubber switch is a little bit sticking outside, so you can nicely feel it. It has LEDs in it, so you can see in green, and I think it's in red, the voltage of the cells. So I think that's quick for that. I can now try to show you the user interface, just playing with the light a bit. Now, before the user interface, I picked some flashlights. So that's an 18615 powered C8, quite nearly identical in length. As I showed you, head diameter is the same. And most of you have an S2 flashlight maybe. Similar a Lumen A21 Apollo, which is also a 21700 cell, but with an XPG and about 4000 lumens. I think I'll take that outside for the beam comparison. And you remember how we had our old triples back then? the old Sky Rays, rated by 3800 lumens with the XML LEDs. I take it outside afterwards too. So now let's look on the user interface. User interface. Where to start? We start with the tail switch. So you see there's a green button, the green light in the button, but just for 5 seconds. If the button is green and steady, that means it's 4.2 down to 3.4 volts. If it has a slow red blinking, it's 3.0 up to 3.4 volts. And if it's fast red blinking, it's 2.8 up to 3 volts. Below 2.8 it does not work at all. So that's according to the user manual. And if you switch it on with the tail cap, it's already kind of a last mode memory, because now it's in standby. If I have a short click for the last mode, and let me close the exposure now, you see short click is on, long click is off. And when you now switch it off in standby, it will start in standby. If you switch it on or have it running, switch it off with the main switch, you have kind of momentary light, and in the last mode you have beam. So that's a nice additional feature. So let's have it on and long click for off. Always double click is turbo, and you see the Sofirn has, when you activate turbo, in the first second it dims up. What's the English term? Don't know. It gets brighter, and if you click and hold, it starts in the 1 lumen mode. You can see it here. And unfortunately, when you are in the 1 lumen moonlight, there is the double click to turbo. Single click brings you back to the moonlight, but you cannot with a short click go from moon to the regular modes. So you have to switch it off and go to the regular modes. And as you see, there is just this one mode, that's mode group 1. If we hit 1, 2, 3, 4 times the button, we get 2 flashes. You see it gets a little bit dimmer, because with the short click we now have a low, a medium and a high. Always there is a turbo above that. Single click brings us back to the regular modes. That's mode group number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We now have an eco in the eco, which is about 10 lumens. There's a low, a medium and a high. Of course there's the moon below and the turbo above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now mode group number 4 is a ramping mode. And ramping is a little bit different, as you notice, because it ramps up and down the whole way from moon, which is 1 lumen, up to 3500 lumens, which is turbo. So if we release the button and click it again, it changes the direction, ramping up and down, and ramping is quite fast and it's very smooth. So that's a nice feature, but you can always have possibly too high brightness and maybe have faster draining your batteries. And again, if you switch it off when the flashlight is on, you have this momentary feature. Short click is off. So, of course, there's somewhere a strobe. Let me try to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there is the strobe. 1, 2, 3. There's some different. Single click is off. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Isn't there a SOS? Double click brought me back to the modes, back to turbo. So I have to look if there is. No, of course there is no SOS included. That's why. That's why you should read your cheat sheet. But playing with the flashlights is fun too, isn't it? So, whoop, exposure back. Enough from that blinky stuff. Go outside and see how it performs. Nearly forgot you guys like the amps. So I use a Shockley cell because the Sofirn cell is recharging for the beamshots. So connecting here. Okay, goes the wrong way. So I click and hold for off. Moonlight, you see, it doesn't notice a lot, so that's 100. Short click for on. Now I do not know in which level we are. This must be eco with 5 milliamps. Then a low with 0.11, medium 0.5. The high is 3.1 amps and turbo gives us 7.1. 3 for high and the turbo with 7.0. Short click for off. So that's it. See you outside. So back again on the old spot. As usually I start with my GT Mini. There's this tree at 110 meters, 140 to this road. Up there is a barn at 400 meters and the thing up there in 800 meters is a school. So this field is in this point about 30 meters. This is the road. So start with a single LED C8. That's what possibly most of you have in their collection. That's in high. I think it's 900 lumens rated. Easily hits the tree. You can nicely notice the way the barn, I can guess it with the eye because I know where to look. Of course, no way to see up there. So that's the nearly 1000 lumens single LED C8 styles. Hopefully every collector have. Now Sofirn's, no, was the wrong pocket. Where's the correct light? Yeah, too many lights with me. Sofirn's C8F in eco, low, medium, high and turbo. You see it dims up. You see easily the tree. Very wide hotspot here. Nice illumination. I can see the road, but I can hardly notice, no, not really. I just can guess that there is the barn in 400 meters because I know it is there, but illuminating this field and the street is quite a lot of fun in comparison to this single LED C8. And here is the Sofirn. Switch that off. I have in the other pocket the old Skyray triple. See, the beam color is quite nicer on the new XPLs than this old cheap XML generation 1. It has more of a hot spot, so the beam distribution is quite nicer on the Sofirn, but throw wise it's nowhere near the Sofirn. And I brought the Lumen, which has 4000 lumens. Started in turbo. That's 4000 lumens from an XPG 70.2. Not the XPG, it's an XHP. Sorry for that, it's late, near to midnight. And comparing Sofirn triple with rated 3500 lumens to the 4000, 3500, 4000. You see a little bit of a difference in the spot, in the light distribution. The spot is bigger on the XHP, stepped down. And back to turbo. Whoops. It's momentary. Have to hold it a bit. There it is. Sofirn also gets cozy warm in my hand now. So you see, the C8F gives us quite nice light. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you saw a few nice shots that help you decide if you buy it. I have a code down there which helps you with the money. And well, if you want to see something special, some lights compared, you know I own, just let me know and I'll try to give it to you. And if you liked my videos, you know, please subscribe. And if not, have a good night. Bye bye.